7 days EuroCup in association with
Hello and welcome to this round 3 matchup in Group A of the 7 days EuroCup. We're here tonight at the Alexander Nikolic Hall, where the crowd is sure to be loud tonight for this matchup between Joventut Badalona, who visit Partizan Nice Belgrade. A shot of Joventut arriving here earlier tonight, winners of their first 2 games here in Group A.
Big game, no? Because Partizan play very well, and I think my team play well, no? And after, well, the more for when you play against Partizan in Pioneer is every time the same, no? But the most important for us is try to play good basketball. Again, very good team.
Here's a look at the host. Also winners of their first 2 games here in Group A, as bragging rights in the group is on the line tonight.
Play against a team that play excellent basketball. They have experienced players, and they play like team. They really control the game, and they try to change the defense during the game.
2 coaches with a lot of respect for one another, both coming into tonight's game knowing that this is the first real measuring stick for one another early in the competition. Plenty of history between these 2 sides, as they faced off once before in the 1992 EuroLeague final, a game in which Partizan won. As we have a look at the format this year, we have 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Here in Group A, the other undefeated team that we'll be keeping an eye on is Lokomotiv Kuban-Krasnodar, who face off tomorrow night against Bologna. A look at some of the earlier scores coming in. Turk Telekom defeated Slask Warsaw 89-73. And plenty of other action underway here tonight. Let's look ahead to that game against the Bologna Metropolitans, where Lokomotiv Kuban-Krasnodar will look to keep pace with one of the 2 sides here tonight, Joventut and Partizan. A game that really features strength on strength. Joventut come into this boasting the best defense in EuroCup action thus far, against a Partizan side themselves leading the competition in the offensive stats category, averaging 95 points per game. A Partizan side's paced by Kevin Punter, second in EuroCup in scoring, averaging 22.5 points through 2 games in on the action. Down low, we've got a great matchup between one of the more talented young big men in the competition, Alen Smilagic, versus one of the great big men of the last decade, Ante Tomic. Tomic really do everything big man. Scoring points, averaging 12 already, assisting with 4 assists, and grabbing boards to help this Joventut side control the pace, something that they'll be looking to do to slow down this offense for Partizan. Obviously, one of the elements we're excited about tonight, seeing the return of this Partizan crowd to the Alexander Nikolic Hall. I imagine it will be loud throughout this one. A hostile environment as it ever can be here for the visitors tonight. As we heard in the intros, Coach Željko Obradović, one of the great coaches in EuroCup history and European basketball history, really, was the coach when this Partizan team was victorious in the EuroLeague in '92 and then took this Joventut side to a EuroLeague crown of their own just 2 years later, back in 1994. His career and his journey come full circle, seeing a return to Partizan this season, something that this crowd here in Belgrade tonight are certainly eager to share their excitement about. And they have lofty ambitions for this team, as we heard Coach Obradovic referencing the experience of Joventut. Partizan themselves don't list a player over the age of 28 on their roster for the game today, leaning on talented youngsters and a handful of returning players to try and deliver on this side's ever lofty ambitions, as we see Coach Obradovic there meeting with Coach Duran in the middle. Again, an early measuring stick, as we mentioned. Both teams taking one another very seriously this evening. Joventut, quarterfinalists last year, looking to start off strong and send a message here early. As we get anthems ringing down and acknowledgments of the return of Coach Obradovic, seen there holding a EuroLeague trophy, something that brought great pride to this organization. Get a look at the starting lineup here for Badalona. Pep Busquets himself had a nice game in their win last week. If you also look at top scorer there, Vladimir Brojanski. Some talented big men on this side. Brigander, along with Tomic, who we mentioned, Brojanski. A formidable front line that can do damage to Partizan in the half court on the offensive end, in addition to defending the paint and the rim on defense. A look there at the Partizan starting lineup. Number of new faces, also joined by the veteran Rade Zagorec, himself looking to bounce back from what by his own lofty measures was a down season last year. And there we see Alan Smailagic coming off the bench. A player who can really cause matchup problems. His combination of size plus his ability to step outside and knock down the outside shot is a big weapon for this side to bring off the bench. Another talented player, just 20 years old, Yam Madar, can come off the bench and make a difference on the defensive side, pestering guards in the backcourt. He also leads this team in assists and dropped 12 last week off the bench in their win over Ankara, a game in which Partizan never trailed. We look here at the starting lineups for Joventut. Crowd on their feet, haven't stopped singing since they got in the building here. Referees tonight, Luigi LaMonica leads this crew. Are Haliko and Artem Lavrunkin compliment him on the court tonight. Definitely plenty of respect. We mentioned that here. Roy Jones Jr. being acknowledged before the game. Former boxer, Olympic silver medalist, has held multiple world championships across 4 weight classes. Roy Jones, the only boxer to start his career as a light middleweight and win a heavyweight crown. Being acknowledged here before the game. There's a look at Punter, top scorer for this Partizan side. He'll be looking to assert his fingerprints on this game early. Averaging 22.5 points. Partizan in their home all-black unis. Facing an Joventut side tonight coming out in white. We're just about ready to get underway. It'll be Ronden's Karutz to take this tip against the ever-formidable Ante Tomic in the middle. We are underway as Joventut just about corral that floorboard for the first possession of the game. Working the ball around the outside, getting into the paint here for a shot tipped out by Tomic. That's no good, and Partizan go the other way. Zach Ledet handles, backing down his defender in the post. Good rebound this time by Tomic. He's able to save it before he falls out of bounds. Point guard Guillaume Vives. Vives controls the pace here, trying to get inside. Caught up in the air a little bit and throws up an air ball. Apologized to his teammates as he wasn't able to find a man as he left his feet there looking for a pass. Had to sort of settle for the shot, which Vives now to inbound. Tomic gets it back to Vives. The two of them looking a little two-man game. Vives goes alone, can't get it off for the shot clock, and here come Partizan. Aramovic gets it ahead to Karutz, who front rims that three-point attempt. Just over a minute gone, and we're still looking for our first bucket of the night. Now this time it's Pau Ribas getting inside himself, finds a nice pass there to Derek Willis, who finishes with the flush. Great penetration that time from Ribas to find the cutting Willis. Now Karutz this time swings it across the top to Smailovic. Talked about his willingness to Smailovic put it up from deep. That one doesn't go, but Partizan still with control. This time Ledet, difficult shot inside. That's off the front of the rim. Now Ribas. Ribas doubled, forced to get rid of it to Tomic. Ends up in the hands of Joel Parra, who misses a three. Tomic, nice pass behind the back to nobody, though. Out the other way. This is going to be Punter, his first shot from deep. Doesn't hesitate to pull up as both teams struggling to find a rhythm here early offensively. Something you have to say favors the Joventut side. Just 2 minutes gone. Parra absorbs the contact, gets up the shot, and draws a foul. That's a couple times that this Joventut side have been able to get into the lane. Haven't quite been able to convert, but that time drawing a foul. So maybe some early signs on how this Joventut team plans to attack the Partizan defense. This Partizan side is used to outscoring their opponents by 20 points a game, so obviously no slouches on the offense or the defensive end, but Joventut trying to find a way to get inside, and they have done that early on here as Joel Parra is able to convert one of two free throws. This is Lede now. Pau cheats over the top. Pau Rivas cheats over the top there, forces Lede to give it up. It swings all the way around to Karutz. A little bit of out of control on the drive and loses that out of bounds. That's going to go down as a turnover. Good hands there by Vives, I believe it was, to just reach in and knock that away from Karutz, who had it then bounce off his knee and out of bounds. Vives now gets it to Tomic, down low. Got a height mismatch on Smilagic. Works it all the way around. Three-pointer comes to Willis, who knocks it down from outside. Willis got 5 of Joventut's 6. Been the brightest spark of offense here in the early going. Good crossover there from Abramovich. Good backdoor cut. There's better signs of this Partizan offense as Punter gets to the rim and finishes that baseline cut. Joventut now working with Pau Rivas. Cross-court pass to the corner it goes, and that's Joel Parra for 3. Just like that, Joventut have jumped out to a 7-point lead. Punter now got his first taste of the offense, wants to get into a rhythm. Forces that dribble ahead that's off the foot of Ante Tomic, and it will be Partizan Nice Belgrade to inbound. Karutz gets it to Avramovic in the corner. Uses a dribbled cycle back around. He's double teamed though. Step back 3 from Avramovic, no good. Willis coming flying in to grab the rebound and draws the foul, as it was Rodions Karutz on the over the back. See how he just gets his arm in there. A little too much contact for the ref's liking. Now Vives casts inside. Good hands that time by Smilagic. Possession stays with Joventut though. Going to be 10 seconds on the shot clock. Vives, the inbound. Goes to Rivas. Rivas gets it to Tomic. Great cut. Another good pass. Finishing in the hands of Derek Willis. Great team bucket there. Ball touched almost every player on the court before the extra pass was made to Derek Willis, who finished with a flush. And it's a timeout. Coach Abramovich knows not to panic early, but equally he's got to get his team right, as they've just given a couple easy buckets on the offensive end, and they still haven't really found a rhythm offensively, a rhythm that they have found so frequently and easily in the competition thus far. Only Kevin Punter with the 2 points, but a couple early turnovers, a couple early fouls has left this side needing to discuss how they want to attack this Joventut defense, a defense that comes in giving up only 56 points a game, an easy average to work out, as they defeated Trento in round 1 by a score of 86-56, and again in round 2 they knocked off the Hamburg Towers by a score of 73-56. So 56, the lucky number on defense for this Joventut side, and if they can hold Partizan in check as they have here in the first 5, they'll be feeling good. There you see this great team bucket. Pau Ribas there makes the extra pass to get it over into the hands of Derek Willis, who finishes with the dunk. Willis has got 7 to lead all scorers. Abramovich handling the ball. Primary ball handling responsibility falls to him, leaving Punter the opportunity to roam and try to find his own shot. Abramovich using the crossover, gets inside, kicks it out to Lede, thinks about the 3, instead drives to the hoop and finishes and draws the foul. gets the crowd into it as well for the first time since the opening introductions. Zach Ledet will head to the line with a chance to complete the three-point play. Great use of the pump fake there. Head fake, gets his defender in the air, and then takes it hard to the rack. And Ledet does convert the free throw. And now a little full court pressure from Partizan. It's into the hands of Derek Willis, who not the primary ball handler, but he does that aptly in getting it up the floor. Now Rivas. Pass gets it down low, back to Willis. Sets the screen for Rivas. These two working a little two-man game. Willis has got to go, fires it up. Probably not the shot they are after, though, in that possession. Back the other way come Partizan now. Karutz this time drives and draws the foul. So something they've seen, something they discussed in that timeout, attacking from the corners. And Rodions Karutz will head to the line with 2 shots after drawing that foul on Derek Willis, his first of the night. As that rims out, and probably just as important as those last 2 possessions, they've also coerced this crowd to life. Karutz misses both of them, but picks up a rebound. Players are kind of caught flat-footed there, and Ledet back in the corner. This time he does shoot the 3, can't get it to go, but great flying rebound from Smilagic. Now Karutz drives and finishes with 2 hands. And a quick timeout by Joventut, excuse me, not a timeout. Just want to get the ball back to Joventut so they can inbound. There you go, you see Karutz drive hard to the rack as the paint just parted for him. Now look at this, picking the pocket, it's Avramovic, can't get it to go, but I think Ledet will, exactly. So a couple of quick points there, and Partizan Nice Belgrade are back in this game. Joventut lead by just 2. Joventut now, can they try and quiet this crowd? The skip pass goes to Para. Para can't find a way through, but Karutz called for the blocking foul. A little bit frustrated there. That's a nice job by Para initiating contact. It'll be Pau Ribas, excuse me, Guillem Vives to inbound, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Get it to Brojanski, seeing his first action of the night. Brojanski can't get that to go. Here come Partizan. Smilagic draws another foul, going right into the teeth of the defense, picking up the call against Ante Tomic. A marquee matchup we were looking forward to all night as these two get into one another's chests for the first time here. And listen to this crowd. Ledet the inbound. Avramovic thinks about the quick trigger, thinks otherwise, and gets it to Punter. Defense encouraging Punter to go left. He does, and pulls up for the mid-range jumper. Good offense that time by Kevin Punter, taking what the defense was giving him, able to convert. Another steal now, throwing it down. That's going to bring this place to life. Rodions Karutz picked the pocket, took it the other way in an instant. And it's Partizan Nice Belgrade with their first lead of the night, 13-11. Joventut slightly stunned, having jumped out to the early lead. That was Joel Para, just a little careless with the basketball. leading to that easy bucket, the steal, and the throwdown from Karutz. Well, it's been a game of runs here through the first 6 minutes or so. Joventut got out to that early lead, leading 9-2, but they've gone a little bit quiet ever since. And it's now Partizan who have responded on a 9-2 run of their own. Excuse me, 11-2 run of their own to reach the score we have here. After that initial timeout, Coach Obradovic got his side back on the same page on the offensive end. Let's see what Charles Duran could draw up for this Joventut side, who need to be a little more careful with the basketball. Just 2 turnovers in their side of the court, leading to easy buckets for Partizan. Something they'll need to clean up. See active hands from Avramovic there, trying to take another steal, this time off of Anders Felix. Rivas, guarded by Punter. Smailagic got caught on the outside, was afraid he was going to get whistled for a foul, I think, guarding the ball handler. Left his man inside. And Joventut were able to convert that. Now Avramovic to Smailagic. Now it's Karutz, who's had a nice quarter already. Taken from him that time, though, and it run out. Hustling back on defense, not going to be able to get there. And it's Joel Parra that finishes the breakaway layup. Now both sides sort of settle into the pace of this quarter a little bit more. Avramovic, the skip pass all the way to Lede in the opposite corner. Good catch from Lede, drives inside. Difficult runner, does go. Little sky hook there by Zach Lede. He's got 7. Felix now directing traffic. Ribas, nice pass inside, and that's finished. Arturs Zagars. Nice cut there from the talented young Zagars, just 21 years of age. Punter now, difficult pass. Move on to inbound as Partizan stay in this full court pressure. Smailagic heading to the bench there, getting his first break of the night. And we get to see our first look at Yam Madar pressuring the ball handler, Felix. Felix able to get inside. And that was tipped out of his hands. Last touch by Felix, though. And it'll be Partizan basketball. So there, a chance to see that pressure disrupting the Joventut offense. A change which has definitely worked and allowed Partizan to get back in this game. They still trail, though. This time down 2 points. Punter now. Checked by Biergander. Punter way over the top of the outstretched arm of Simon Biergander. Great shot, difficult shot from Kevin Punter. Showing his scoring chops, though. Felix now, as this Partizan defense stretches out to guard him from about 35 feet. 3 players converge on Felix on the drive. And Partizan will look to reclaim the lead with the last possession of the first quarter. Shot clock's unplugged. Punter will hold for the last shot. Guarded by Biergander again. Pulls up again over the top of him. Off the front of the rim. Tipped up and in, though. Good second effort from Balsa Kapravica. And that ends the first quarter. Back and forth they went. Both teams trying to grab hold of this one early. And it ends about as fair as it probably could have been. Partizan with a slim lead, 19-17. Some changes made on the defensive end that really allowed this Partizan offense to get going. We hailed their offensive firepower coming into it. It was Joventut that started off hot, though. Derek Willis with the dunk there. He was the leading scorer early. Willis finished the frame himself with 7 points to lead all Joventut scorers. And then it was the comeback from Partizan, triggered by that and one dunk by Zach Leday. And then another good finish in traffic, this time by Karutz. Karutz finished with 4 points. Leday with 7. Punter had 6. As Partizan spread out the action, Biergander got in on the action late in the first quarter, but he was also punished on the offensive end, trying to stay with Punter there in a one-on-one situation. So the turnover, something to keep an eye on in this one. Joventut had the ball stolen from them, trying to bring it up twice. Those 2 turnovers led to 4 quick points. Partizan, on the other hand, couldn't quite get comfortable in the offensive set early going. You mentioned they used their defense to turn into offense as the quarter went on. See how long they can stick with this full court pressure that has caused trouble for Joventut, but does wear a team down, puts strains on the energy levels. This Partizan side, younger than some, though. As we mentioned coming into this, can they use that youthful exuberance to keep the pressure on throughout the night? It's Joventut coming out in the full court pressure now to start the second quarter. And Yam Madar handling the ball. Coming off the bench, the 6th man here actually leads the team in assists. Madar looking for it back. Madar gets inside Leday, left alone for 3. Knocks it down. Thought about it for a minute. Figured, why not? That's 10 for Leday. He leads all scorers in the early going. Pat Busquets now pestered by Rade Zagoric. That's 3 from Moronco is off the mark. And now Madar pushes it the other way. Got to wait for some reinforcements, though. He calls for the pick, that time by Kapravica. Zagoric, difficult shot. Trying to get his scoring rhythm going this season. Busquets now. It's to Felix. Felix cycles it around to Moronco. Difficult shot. Moronco had to get rid of it. Was really trapped in a corner there. Madar thought he was fouled. The refs look at one another and they're going to decide, yep, that was Anders Felix that got Madar. A little contact as Madar looked to push it up court. It'll be Zagoric to inbound now. Into Madar. He's not afraid to direct traffic, despite just being 20 years of age. Has a good sense, a good feel for the game and sense of where he wants his teammates. Zagoric there, not able to control the handle on the drive. Leads to another Partizan turnover now. Nice finish. Good work by Brojanski, backing down his player. Brojanski, the leading scorer for Joventut there, showing some cultured offense that leads to the point. Now a run out. Moronka goes alone and throws it down, making up for the turnover a couple possessions ago. Showing how he can be a pest on defense and turn that effort into offense. Dangubic now trying to find seam. Good hands that time by Vives, and gets that ahead to Brojanski. So Joventut taking the ball off Partizan in the half court, getting the ball ahead for some quick buckets. They lead by 1. Madar, he needs to help his team find a rhythm here. Good crossover dribble, gets up in the air and has to get rid of it though. Difficult pass inside. And it's going to be another turnover on Partizan on 3 straight possessions here. Coming back into the game is Alan Smelogic. Dallas Moore into the game, seeing his first action of the night. Another newcomer to this Partizan Nice Belgrade side. Good ball handler in his own right. He'll first be tasked by checking Guillem Vives on defense. Busquets down low to Brojanski. Brojanski turns one way, turns the other, gets it up with the right hand. That doesn't go. Madar pushed the other way. Trying to work a little two-man game with Smilogic. Instead has to cycle it around the outside. Out it comes to Dallas Moore, pulls the trigger and knocks it down, reclaiming a Partizan lead. Moore's first impact off the bench, and it's a good one. This Partizan side now, back inside they go. Brojanski. And that's a reach-in fouled on Nemanja Dangubic. Just getting Brojanski there on the arm. Good pass inside, difficult catch, and good finish that time. Pep Busquets. Quick hitter off the inbounds play for Busquets' first bucket of the night. Lede now handling the ball. Gets it back to Dallas Moore. Moore now, a little bit of traffic, gets it to Smell. Slow pass and getting to Dangubic. Wasn't able to do much with it, but still able to draw the foul. Bit of frustration there from Vives, as it didn't exactly look like Dangubic was going anywhere in a hurry. Second foul on Vives tonight. Just got him with the body, the blocking foul as Dangubic drove baseline. Punter back into the game. It's Madar though for 3, that's in and out. Good effort there from Dangubic to try and tie up Moronka, but Guillem Vives seizes control of the moment and gets it up court for Joventut. We got a whistle away from the ball here. Going to be a foul on Dangubic, number 6, as he tried to deny the entry pass to Vladimir Brojanski. Joventut looking Brojanski's way often in these half-court settings as a source of offense, in a similar way that they tend to with Tomic, trying to initiate that offensive set down low. Dangubic came in, brought some good effort and energy that was appreciated by these fans as he heads to the bench. Rade Zagoric back in. Vives trying to turn the corner, does that. Brigander couldn't convert, tried to grab his own rebound, ended up touching it last out of bounds. Simone Brigander, good effort there, but couldn't finish in the paint. Locked at 25. Madar gets the paint from Smilagic. Back to Smilagic. Brigander commits the foul to avoid the inevitable dunk that would have come had he not reached his hand in there. So Brigander will head to the bench, and Smilagic will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Badalona going with a big lineup. Ante Tomic back in the game to join Brojanski and the young Sombor Moronka also on the court, providing a fairly imposing front line for this Joventut side as Smilagic for Partizan knocks down both free throws. Felix gets it ahead, and they look straight to Brojanski, but he couldn't quite handle the entry pass cleanly, and he's forced to cycle it back out to Felix. 7 on the shot clock. They're looking down low. Back to Brojanski. It's taken away. Mouse in the house. Yeah, Madar guarding the much taller Brojanski. Tried to force a turnover. Doesn't quite. But that effort certainly appreciated by a home crowd. Joventut now to inbounds. They're gonna have a fresh 14 seconds on the shot clock. Off the change of possession, really, as Madar grabbed the ball. Timeout, though, out of this inbounds play. Joventut have been successful on a couple of the quick hits coming out of the timeout on the inbounds, so let's see what they draw up here this time. Partizan back out in front. Back and forth they've gone. Fitting of 2-0 teams trying to feel one another out here in the early going. Took a minute for this Partizan team to get going underway in the first quarter, but they definitely found a bit more of a rhythm on both sides of the ball. That's for Joventut. They've experimented with a number of different lineups. They've got scoring coming from primarily down low, and also in forcing some turnovers that have led to some easy runouts, but their half-court offense has been a little bit inconsistent, so let's see what they can draw up here coming out of the timeout. There's Jan Madar, who's been the young 20-year-old guard tasked with primary ball handling responsibilities, chatting with their top scorer, Kevin Punter. But first they got to play some defense, so Joventut to inbound. Joel Parra got a size mismatch. Gets it back to Ribas, though, who knocks down the 3 and goes some way to silencing this raucous crowd here at the Alexander Nikolic Hall. Now, Dallas Moore using the crossover to try and create some space. Gets it to Punter. Smilagic giving him the screen. He's picked up his dribble and needs to be bailed out. Now Madar, let's see what he can do. 3-pointer on the way, way off the mark, and Brojanski grabs the rebound. Joventut a chance to extend their slim lead. Parra, good catch down low, can't get it back up. Gets it back to Tomic. Tomic forced to kick it out. Now another 3, this time Ribas again. Back-to-back 3s from Pau Ribas, and Joventut, just like that, jump out to a 4-point lead. See, the inside-out game, we're talking a lot about the formidable front line. It forced the defense to collapse down on Ante Tomic, who kicked it out to Pau Ribas for his second 3 in 2 possessions. A moment ago in the last stoppage of play, back and forth they went, we said. Joventut jumping out in front now, this time by 4 points off those two made buckets by Ribas. Joventut have got scoring contributions from 7 players already on the night. Willis still the leading scorer after the 7 points explosion really there in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Since then they've been sharing the love in terms of who's getting in on the action. Para knocking down a 3 a moment ago. Pau Ribas knocking down a 3 just there. He's 2 for 2 from downtown tonight. There is Derek Willis checking back into the game after he started and made a nice contribution here in the early going. Also back into the game is Aramovic. Aramovic now gives way to Dallas Moore. Aramovic has that tipped out by Joel Para as Avramovic and Moore get together to make sure they're on the same page. Into Moore it goes. Smailagic gives him a cut, but now Smailagic trying to back down Para. Double team comes, triple team, someone's open, gets it out to Rade Zagoric, who could not get that off before the buzzer. And that'll go down as a shot clock violation. Good defense that time by Joventut, giving Alan Smailagic very little options down low, forcing the violation. Good crossover there by Felix to get free as he brought the ball up the court. Para now going against the smaller Punter, trying to get his way with him inside. Goes for the fall-away jumper, can't get that to go. Tomic couldn't corral the rebound, and the other way goes Punter. Punter was sought out that time by Ribas. Didn't want him to get up court in a hurry. Was happy to take the foul to slow down the action. Punter has a word with the refs just to make sure everything was copacetic there. You see the coming together of those two players, shoulder to shoulder, a bit physical. But both teams with a couple fouls to give. Partizan with 3 more fouls to give. Joventut just the 1 going into halftime. Smailagic and Para getting tied up there away from the ball. So that's 5 on Joventut now. And Smailagic shoots. First one rims out. I'll look there at Zagoric, still looking to get on the stat sheet tonight, but Smailagic misses them both. Partizan shooting less than 50% from the free throw line already today. They call it the charity stripe. Have not been that charitable so far early. Tomic, nice finish in the lane there as he pushes this Joventut lead to 6 points now. Punter down low, nice pass by Smailagic, finding Avramovic down on the low block. Looks like the Joventut defense didn't account for him being there, and he'll have the 2 easiest points he'll have all night. Great pass by the big man. Now Moore guarding Ribas away from the basket. We mentioned the fouls that they had to give, using one of them there. Joventut will inbound. Checking back into the game is Zach Leday. Still leading scorer for both sides. An exciting driving dunk to get things going early on and knocking down a 3, showing his inside-out game as well. Nice cut there, Felix. Look at this. Good ball movement. Unfortunately, Pa could not finish the nice move. Back the other way comes Punter now. Punter's got 6, but it's been quiet by his standards. Leday thinks about it. Avramovic doesn't need to think. He pulls the trigger on that one. Now it's Willis. He's going to look to push off the rebound. Tomic swings it to Felix. Felix thinks about the drive the lane, instead comes back out to Pau Ribas. Ribas now, 10 on the shot clock. Good cut inside, throw it down. But an awkward landing from Derek Willis. Let's hope he's all right. Great cut, great dunk. Derek Willis in some discomfort, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Look at that pass from Pau Ribas. And Derek Willis was able to get up and send it down. Avramovic now, curling drive. Extra pass made to Dallas Moore. We've already seen fire it up from deep once. Thinking about it again. He's got Parra on skates. Difficult shot, but no problem for him. Big time three, Dallas Moore, and it's a three-point ball game once again. Parra almost has it tipped away by Punter. He's got to go with the dribble now. Backing down Moore. Punter and Moore converge on Parra. Commit the foul on the floor. Some disagreement about whether the foul was on the floor or a shooting foul, though. It looks like they're going to give 2 shots to Parra. See here, Joel Parra backing in. Double team comes. Moore and Punter converge to commit the foul. Parra knocks down the first. It's the 3rd free throws of the night for Joventut Badalona. Joel Parra comfortably knocks down 2. Tomic and Zach Leday get tied up off the make there. Not much to be done, though. Despite the crowd's protests, Joventut lead by 5. The experienced Rade Zagoric. I say experienced, this is one of the returning players here for Partizan. Still just 26 years of age himself. Making sure everyone is happy to make up. So, just about a minute left to go here in the first half. Kevin Punter into Avramovic, kicks it all the way back out to Leday, almost loses the handle. Now it's Zagoric, toe on the line, in and out. Grabbed by Pau Ribas. Avramovic hustling for the loose ball. Which way is it going to go? Great effort from Avramovic that this crowd loves. As the players pick themselves up, it was, I believe it was Andres, Felix, and Pau Ribas. There you see Avramovic tipping it away from Ribas. Felix came in a hurry trying to get it back, and did they get Felix on the foul? Let's see which way the ref saw it. Or are we going to have a jump ball? So we've got a foul. On Avramovic, he's going to shoot one. And Partizan are going to retain possession here after the foul shot, I believe. Unless the refs got this as a common foul on the floor. Okay, so I believe that's going to go down as the 5th foul on Partizan, with Alexa Avramovic shoot 2 free throws. and try and cut into this Joventut lead. A lead that they have built with some timely shooting and some good defense. But this Partizan crowd trying to will their side to narrow the deficit. Now at just 3 points going into halftime. So we're almost certainly going to see some full court pressure here from Partizan, I would think. Full court pressure, which has been successful in disrupting the Joventut offense at various points throughout the night. Kevin Punter steps up to pressure the ball. It's going to be Joel Parra to inbound. Parra gets it to Andres Felix. Felix easily breaks the press. And Partizan drop back into a shell defense. Now, Joventut trying to spread it out, let Felix go alone. In the lane, Felix, nice floater up and over. Smilagic. 20 seconds remain. The ball's with Kevin Punter, as it was to end the first quarter. That time, his shot missed, but Koprivica tipped it in. What's Hunter got this time? Swings it to Zagaric. Zagaric to go alone. Off the glass, no good. Tipped up, away. And it'll end with Parra, as Joventut happy to head to halftime with a 5-point lead. 39 to 35. 39 to 34, rather. 5-point lead to Joventut. Some recognition by this Partizan crowd of their team. They fought back to close the deficit there late in the quarter. It's gone both ways, but the scoring early does favor the visitors, keeping the shackles on this potent Partizan Nice Belgrade offense early, allowing them only 34 points on 3 of 11 shooting from 3. Not able to score in the bunches that they're used to. Let's take a look back at the first half. It was Joventut early. That dish from Ribas to Derek Willis. Willis has 9 to lead all Joventut scorers. There's some more of Willis getting in on the action. Then Smilagic found Kuruc, who drove the lane and finished with 2 hands as Partizan fought back. Kuruc this time turning defense into offense, picking the pocket of Joel Parra. Smilagic loving it, this crowd loving it. Zach Leday knocking that one down from 3. He got some action inside and out. Youngster, the 19-year-old Zsombor Moronca, was able to finish that run out. And then Pau Ribas, part of a stretch that saw him hit back-to-back threes. There's the first, here's the second. And allowed Joventut to jump out at that point to a 5-point lead. It was a lead they were able to maintain throughout the quarter and go into halftime with a 5-point lead. Shooting 50% from beyond the arc, a high percentage despite reasonably low volume, just 4 of 8. Assisting each other well, 14 assists against just 11 two-point field goals, showing great ball movement, great passing to get one another in on the action.
Top, and there is the alley-oop for Oriol Pauli getting on the end. Might not do it again as Paola coughs it up. And the Thunder dunk. As Yallo sent it down. Felicio's pass is intercepted easily by Weems. Weems tries to go the distance. And that gets sent back with interest.
Tomic. Give it go. And Tomic! Straight at the netting. 31-28. Direct there from Joventut Badalona.
That's over the back of the backboard. Will that count? Oh, goodness me, how often do you see that shooting from behind the backboard? It went in. What's the fact? Wow, if that goes incredible.
5 seconds to go. The pass off. Oh, beautiful defense. But they have it. Bittin puts it up at the buzzer. Stones. Get that out of here.
Nice pass. Williams, the assist and the throwdown. Stanton Kidd enjoyed those.
Schöne, well supported by AJ Slaughter, then the still, the drive, it's quick ball, back it goes and slams home as well. Isaiah Wells is there to put the ball in the basket. Quick break, unselfish basketball.
Keane stole the ball from a much bigger man. And a throwdown! Explosive action there from Zacko. Couldn't stop or wake him up. He had a quiet first half. But, well, that's a statement indeed. You might say the crowd enjoyed that.
Andrew to Needham. Short-range jumper does not go in. Long pass down the floor. Sanders hands it off. There's your 7 days magic moment there. It's Watt finishes at the hoop. Austin Day has it. Long pass down the floor. Sanders just pass it back. And it's Mitchell Watt to slam it home with a left hand.
The shot goes up and goes down from John Schöne. Schöne made the basket. Schöne puts it down. Schöne, smooth as you like. Schöne, smooth as you like. Was quick. Schöne was agile, but Schöne also was powerful enough to stand his ground. Schöne was agile, but Schöne also was powerful enough to stand his ground. Eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize.
How important will be to control turnovers and to be more aggressive?
This team is playing hard. They got a lot of veterans, so we have to come out and respond the right way, listen to what coach says, and come out and play hard and fight in the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you.
even first half. Do you expect the same intensity?
Yeah, or more. I mean, we're doing a great job. We're fighting every ball. We're playing with the tools we want, taking advantages in offense. But the second half is going to be even tougher. Nice fans here. They push the team really hard, and we want to do the same, like the first 20 minutes to win the game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, how important will be to start strong and to be more aggressive?
No, we start aggressive defensively, but problem it was offense because we are not enough patient. We shot the ball very easy. We don't play moving the ball, and this is the main thing that we need to change in the second half.
Thank you. Coach, big battle. Do you expect maybe even bigger in the rest of the game?
Yeah, but in the first part, play sometimes so-so in offense, more turnovers, because Partizan is very aggressive in defense. But now thinking in the next 20 minutes, it's only the half court and thinking in the next 20 minutes. But it's possible win if you play well. If not, it's difficult.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back. We're just a couple minutes away from second half action between these top two teams in Group A, Joventut Badalona and Partizan Nice Belgrade, playing here in Belgrade, Serbia tonight in front of a loud crowd. We had a chance to hear from both coaches at halftime, both coaches referencing Partizan's aggression on defense, but Partizan coach Obradovic questioning his team's patience on the offensive end. As for Joventut, they played very well to keep this potent Partizan offense to just 34 points in the frame. Coach Charles Duran saying quite simply, if his team play well, they can win the game. As for the players, Pau Ribas started off as facilitator. He leads all players with 7 assists in 14 minutes of action. hefty first half workload for the 34-year-old, but showing no signs of slowing down, firing in both of his 2 3-point attempts towards the end of the second quarter. Those 6 points go along with the 7 rebounds, or 7 assists rather. As for Partizan's players, it's Zach Leday leading Partizan, leading all scorers with 10 points of his own, also ripping down 4 rebounds in the first half's action. There's a shot of Leday. Gonna feel the ball before he's thrust into second half action. A couple of extra words of guidance from Coach Duran for the Joventut side, as he uses the last sort of 15 seconds here to give extra instruction. It would be a statement win for Joventut here, although it's early in the season, early in group play, coming into a hostile environment against a very good Partizan team. They certainly won't underestimate what the next 20 minutes will require if they are to walk away with the W. As for Partizan, they have a certainly not insurmountable lead to overcome. Just the 5 points separate the two sides, but they will need to find a better rhythm on offense. They start the second half with the first possession, and that's a good look. Kurutz left all alone. Some miscommunication on defense leads to that easy bucket for Rodion's Kurutz. Tomic now around to Rivas, who was assist-making extraordinaire in the first half. Tomic gets his defender up in the air. Difficult shot, doesn't go. And Smailagic looking to force the issue, taking it coast to coast. Look at this. Can't get it to go, and called for the offensive foul. We highlighted these two players, Smailagic and Tomic, at the top. Playing a little game of full court one-on-one there. Tomic uses his good positioning to draw the foul against the driving Smailagic. So that'll go down as a turnover. Guillem Vives now in control of the basketball for Joventut. There's a little bump from Kurutz. Looks over to his bench. Coach Obradovic gives him the hands to say, hey, take a breath, and quickly checking into the game is Dangubic. Nemanja Dangubic quickly grabbing Rodion's Kurutz, despite the great play on the first set of the half. Getting pulled there, maybe to grab a breather. Ribas, nice pass inside, and Tomic is able to finish that. He's been making that shot for years. Now Guillem Vives called for the foul. Bit of a cheap one to give that far away from the basket. Looks like one he didn't even have any intentions of giving. And maybe you can hear what the player has to say on that. Certainly not the most intentional foul we'll see, but so be it. Avramovic now handling the ball. Checked by Tomic. Step back from Avramovic off the front of the rim. Rebound grabbed by Joel Parra. Vives pushes it. Actually now slows down the offensive set. Using the screen by Tomic. Tomic rolls to the basket, gets it back on the elbow, then gets it back to Vives. Now another roll from Tomic. Good understanding between these two players. So that's going to be a foul called against Dangubic. Andres Feliz handled the basketball a lot in the first half, already checking back into this one. Feliz to inbound. Whistle this time, just the ref checking that Alexa Avramovic doesn't get too close to the player inbounding the ball. Try to give him at least a meter of space. Corner three from Ribas is no good. Actually, that was a long two. And Avramovic now to push the issue for Partizan. Good cut, but difficult shot along the baseline. Comes up just short. Avramovic slightly frustrated with himself. Not quite showing the patience that Coach Obradovic spoke of at halftime. Tomic, on the other hand, very patient as he surveys his options. Goes with Ribas. Inside back to Tomic. Tomic trying to get Smilagic up in the air. Nice up and under move from Tomic. Can't get it to go, though. Good rebound by Zach Ledet. And Ledet waits for reinforcements. They come in the form of Kevin Punter. We get a whistle this time against Willis. Derek Willis called for the foul. Trying to fight over the top of that Smilagic screen. Punter now. Trying to turn the corner, guard by Ribas. Dangerous pass is grabbed by Dangubic. Dangubic drives the lane, couldn't get that to go. Punter now. Dallas Moore takes the extra dribble, pulls up for three. Shot that little flat-footed, he didn't go up as quickly as he wanted to. Ribas, the alley-oop, look at that! Look out below, Derek Willis. Great read on the pass. Ribas to Willis, who throws it down. Joventut doing their best to quiet down this Partizan crowd. The crowd refuses to be tamed, though. Moore out to Dangubic. That three is good, and we'll hear some noise for that. Feliz checked by Dangubic, about just over the midway line, guarding them far away from the basket, trying to make it difficult for them to get into that pick and roll offense with Tomic. Dangubic called again for another foul. He's really been called upon by Coach Obradovic to bring some energy on the defensive end. He's done exactly that. Picked up a couple fouls here in the early going of the third quarter. Feliz now gets into the lane. Nice bucket off the glass. Moving to a lead by 6. Feliz guarding Dallas more closely. It's going to be three-point attempt passed over by Smilagic. Good drive inside the lane, difficult shot. Couldn't get it to go. Against Joel Para. Now Tomic, who's just the focal point of this offense in the half court, and rightly so. Kick ball that time by Zach Ledet, so it'll be Joventut to inbound with a fresh 14 seconds on the shot clock. Back into the game for the first time this half is Pep Busquets. Para finds Busquets on the inbounds. Tomic from the top of the key gets the friendly bounce. And just like that, it's a 9-point Joventut lead. Kevin Punter, what can he do about it? Gonna need his scoring in order to get back into this one for Partizan. Ledet, air ball over the back of the rim. Avramovic, though, will not be denied. Balsa Koprovica, rather, great. Second time he's turned an offensive rebound into points straight away. His 2 buckets, those 4 points, both coming off of great offensive rebounds. Koprivica now asked to guard Ante Tomic. They're going to get Tomic the offensive foul. See, he threw a little shake with his shoulder. Maybe his elbow got up into the chest of Koprivica. The refs didn't like the look of that. Got Tomic for the offensive foul. See here, a little bit of physicality there. The first one with the butt was okay. It was the second one with the shoulder that the refs called. Both teams will head to the bench. So Partizan trying to turn that turnover, that foul by Tomic into offense of their own. Partizan had not been taking great care of the basketball earlier in this game. 6 turnovers in the second quarter. Allowed Joventut to outscore them in that period by 7. It's not quite the same margin now, but Joventut still lead by 6. And that defense causing some challenges for Partizan throughout. Tomic has been a real focal point of the offense, particularly here in the third quarter, trying to run a couple different two-man games with both Pau Rivas and Andres Feliz. Both players show a good understanding with Tomic of how to use his screens, his size, and create some space around him to try and give him some lanes to drive the basket. Tomic has turned into this point a workman-like 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. But very much serving as the focal point of the Joventut offense when they're in the half court. Partizan picking up on offense, and it's Dallas, Moore, and Punter working together. Moore's got a seam, takes it right at Para, and finishes with the left hand. Good drive from Dallas Moore. We've seen Moore show what he's got from outside. Now flexing his muscles as he drives the paint, getting inside. Tomic, the ball in his hands. Good backdoor cut from Busquets. Uses the rim to protect him a little bit. Goes up and under with the reverse. Good pass from Tomic. Great cut from Busquets. Moore again with the ball in his hands. Thinks about using the Koprivica screen. Still not giving a ton of room. Great defense there by Joventut. Loose ball, though, picked up eventually by Moore. Alone in the 3 is, and in and out it goes for Lede. Ball last touched by Koprivica, so a bit of a broken play there. I think Joventut were lucky not to allow an easy point, easy bucket for Partizan. Lede passing up the drive to settle for the admittedly wide open 3. Couldn't get it to go, though. Feliz now. Under 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Joventut maintaining this 6-point lead. Feliz drives and stops on a dime at the elbow. Now it's Tomic. Tomic, difficult driving layup. Can't get the bucket, but draws the foul, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2. Just good determination there by Ante Tomic. Not willing to take no for an answer as he was able to turn the corner and get out that hook shot with the left hand, drawing the foul. Ante Tomic makes the first. Badalona continue to shoot well from the free throw line despite limited attempts. This just the 5th and 6th shots respectively for the side. Tomic makes them both and extends the Joventut lead now to 8 as Simon Brigander checks into the game. Give Ante Tomic a break. Moore now has his options of screeners to choose from. Goes with neither, though. And Lede finds Koprivica, who throws it away in the paint. Now Feliz the run out. Thinks differently of it, though. Pulls it out. And Brigander looks for a teammate to initiate the offense. It's Feliz. Feliz back to Brigander. They've got Parra in the corner. He can shoot it from deep, and he knocks it down. Joel Parra knocks down a big three. Celebrations on the Joventut bench. And silence in the arena as Joventut making a big bucket there late in the third quarter to stretch this to their biggest lead of the night. Joventut Badalona lead by 11. And it must be said, they're using their defense to inspire their offense, forcing yet another turnover and then able to convert that into 3 points on the other end. Partizan have turned it over 11 times. That last one damaging, as Brigander was able to make the extra pass to find Joel Parra in the corner and knock down the three. Parra's had a nice night in a lot of action. He's played 20 minutes already. 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. 3 of 4 from the free throw line as well, doing a good job initiating some contact and getting to the line. Joel Parra's got 11 points. Parra and Derek Willis have both been dangerous from that forward position. Both shooting it on cuts. Both of them have 11. Partizan now get it in through Dallas Moore. Punter back to Moore. Moore drives against Brigander, swings it back around. It's going to be Punter with just 6 on the shot clock. Deep three, but it's going to bring this place to life. Big time shot by Kevin Punter. When the offense, the movement wasn't really clicking, he decided to take matters into his own hands and pull up with a big shot from way downtown. Now Brodzianski trying to answer the other end. Parra in the corner again. Can't get that one to go. Big rebound attempt by Punter, and he was fouled by Busquets as he went up for that one. So it's Punter and Moore in the backcourt. Obradovic opting to stick with Punter, and you can understand why. His leading scorer with 22 points. Moore has had some nice moments, but during the time in, he has seen this lead slip away. So you wonder if Obradovic is going to make the change. That's another turnover, another steal by Joventut. The run out. They're going to look to convert early on this. Brodzianski for 3, and that's another big-time shot. Just a dagger of a response to Punter's 3. Another steal, this time off a Smailagovic turnover, and it's a 3 by Brodzianski. Tipped out on the offensive rebound attempt by Lede. You can tell if the Parra one was big, if the Parra 3 was big, that one from Brodzianski might be bigger, just as a way of responding to that Kevin Punter 3, which threatened to throw this place into a bit more noise. Now, Pau Ribas has done such a great job of controlling this game throughout. He and Feliz with the ball in their hands on the outside, trying to find Brodzianski inside. They opt to go around the outside with Busquets. Busquets is guarded by Punter, and they give him some room to work. Offensive foul, Busquets. So good defense there by Punter. These two have been going at it against each other for the past few minutes. It looks like Kevin Punter is going to come out of the game here. Checking back in for the first time in the second half, I do believe, is Rade Zagoric. excuse me, Punter remains in this one, so Smailagic has come out as Partizan go a little small ball here. Punter for three. Got it. That is an ice-cold bucket from an absolute points getter. All right. Can they build on that, or is Joventut going to shut them down again? Aggressive defense from Partizan, goes to the corner. It's going to be Brigander backing his way down low and finishing. Good play there from Joventut. Just 3 seconds left. Punter knows it. Deep three. Can't get it to go. So it's 10 points, the difference between these two sides as we finish the third frame. Partizan continue to be slowed on the offensive end by Joventut Badalona. Hard to say a team getting 15 through 3 is slow, but for their lofty offensive standards, this Badalona defense is causing fits for the Partizan side, forcing 12 turnovers. This Badalona side have 7 steals to force those turnovers, a lot of them leading to instant offense as we get a look back at the third quarter. First play of the quarter was this easy one by Karutz, but then Badalona went on a little tear of their own. Look at this lob to Derek Willis, who was able to finish that contested alley-oop. Ante Tomic there with the friendly bounce as he stepped out to the top of the key to knock that one down. Zach Leday couldn't get that to go, but Koprivica was able to finish the offensive rebound there. Now that big-time shot from Joel Para in the corner. He shakes his head. He knows what that means. That lead was big. Kevin Punter responded with a big-time 3 of his own. And Partizan were right back in this. But what you didn't see there was another big 3 from Vladimir Brojanski later in the corner. That ensured at that point Joventut maintained their 11-point lead, had that lead shrunk only by a point to 10 as the quarter closed. We get a look there. Story of the turnovers I keep mentioning, 13 of them by Partizan. Joventut with 7 steals. And I'd like to know how many of those came in the third quarter there, as they held this Partizan side to just 15 points in the quarter. And were able to stretch their 5-point halftime lead to 10. So a bit of nerves, bit of anxiety maybe for the crowd here at the Alexander Nikolic Hall. 10 minutes of basketball to play, and a 10-point deficit to try and cut into. Joventut, well, they're going to try and keep doing what they're doing, playing solid defense and being opportunistic on offense when they can. Not like that, though. Look at that swat on Feliz. As it was power rebounds, a little bit frustrated after that big block against his backcourt mate, Andreas Feliz, committing the foul. See this, a great rotation from Zach Leday. Zagaric now with the ball in his hands, giving way to Dallas Moore. Moore with a difficult entry pass to Leday right along the sideline. Tipped out a play by Brigander. I have to question that means of initiating the offense there for Partizan. They're going to need to get the ball inside much more dangerous positions to free up their shooters on the outside. Punter couldn't get that to go. Zagaric, great offensive rebound. Good effort there, which is appreciated by this crowd. Couldn't convert, but draws the foul. Difficult shot there by Punter, almost able to finish it. But Zagaric, the second attempt, able to draw the foul. Checking in after an extended time on the bench is Yam Madar. Talk about it as the exciting young player who's come off the bench, served a bit of a sixth man for this Partizan side, and was on the court for some good moments that they had towards the end of the first quarter. Hasn't seen so much action here in the second half. Let's see if he can have an impact on this game. Zagorac knocks down the first and the second. Cut into this lead. Now just 8 points. Feliz, guarded by Madar, who's got no shortage of energy, having rested for most of the second half to this point. Happy to pick up Feliz in the full court. Pau Ribas for three. Off the mark. Rebound, though. Simon Brigander. It's a fresh shot clock for Joventut. Brojanski, guarded by Rade Zagorac, draws the foul on the floor. Just a little reach with the left hand of Zagorac, committing the foul. Smailagic now back in the game. We got another whistle, this time away from the play. Pau Ribas looks a little frustrated. They're going to call another foul or just a couple players that got tied up? Yeah, and I think we're going to get a foul this time on Dangubic. So two quick ones there on Partizan. Pau Ribas drives baseline, finds the open Busquets. That three doesn't go, but another offensive rebound by Brigander right in front of the Partizan faithful, who wanted to push off on Smailagic before grabbing that rebound. They didn't get the call, and it's Joventut back with the ball in their hands, taking valuable seconds off the clock, trying to score again. Difficult shot there in the lane. That's a shot clock violation. Brigander wanted the whistle. Good defense, though, by Partizan, and this crowd is letting them know they appreciate it. Madar, the first time with the ball in his hands on offense now. Smailagic being dared to shoot the three by the defender, Brigander. And it was Pep Busquets committing the foul as they tried to get the entry pass on that wing to Rade Zagorac. Still just 8 points separating these sides. Partizan trying to cut into what was a 10-point lead. Smailagic thinks about the three again. They're giving it to him and wants it. Instead, he has other ideas. Flexing on him after he throws it down. Alan Smailagic taking no prisoners on that drive. Dangubic now called for the blocking foul as he tried to pester the Joventut ball handler. Let's get another look at this. Big time dunk by Alan Smailagic, holding his ground, showing his strength afterwards. Dangubic fouling out with 5 fouls. He brought energy while he was in. It's going to be Rodion's Kuruts, who Coach Obradovic turns to for his energy guy coming back in to the lineup. We got another foul on the floor. 4 quick ones here, really, in just over 2 minutes of fourth quarter action. You know that the free throw line is going to play a big role in this one. Coming down the stretch, they're going to have to play a lot of this fourth quarter, potentially in foul trouble. All right, here we go. EM Vives can't get that entry pass to Tomic, goes out of bounds. And that's an unforced error, really, on the point guard, throwing that one away. The lead now, down to 6. Madar wanted Lede to flash for him sooner. Zagorac does a great job getting his man in the air. The extra pass goes to Madar for 3. That's off the mark. Smailagic can't grab the offensive rebound, and instead it's Guillem Vives pushing it the other way. Pau Ribas now. A little bit of contact down low, and they're going to get an offensive foul against Ante Tomic, and this crowd lets them know what they think about that. So the second offensive foul on Tomic this quarter. Refs taking a moment, clean up the floor. Partizan crowd all of a sudden has been boiled to life. Madar now to Lede. Hasn't had a huge offensive impact in the second half. Trying to change that now. Great drive. Difficult shot. Draws the foul on Brojanski. Zach Lede will head to the line for 2 shots. Both teams are going to be shooting on whistled fouls the rest of the way through, so keep an eye on free throw shooting and the home crowd, the effect that they can have on this one coming down the stretch. Zach Lede knocks down the first. Can't get the second to go, but Karutz pops in for an offensive rebound. Lede drives again, this time with the left hand. Can't get that to go. Rebounds grabbed by Joel Parra. Parra now gets it over. And into the hands of Pau Ribas. Ribas using the Tomic screen. Ribas for 3. That's off the back of the rim. Rebound tipped out, last touch by Karutz. Karutz thought there was a little bit of contact. It's going to go. No, pardon me, it looks like it's going to be last touched by Joventut. So Partizan with yet another opportunity to cut into this lead. They have outscored Joventut 5-0 here in the fourth quarter. Definitely using their defensive energy and maybe feeding off the energy of this crowd, but they're going to have to get it going on offense. Zagaric now drives inside. He can't get that to go with the right hand, but another offensive rebound by Karutz. Back to Zagaric, who thinks about the drive, now thinks otherwise. Joel Parra tried to pick the pockets of Zagaric and gets called for the foul, so that's going to send Rade Zagaric back to the line for another 2 shots. Parra thought he was going to have a clean swipe, but Zagaric did a good job closing down the space between the two of them and forcing Parra to contact him illegally rather than give away the steal. So Zagaric knocks down the first this time around. You get a look at the team free throw shooting percentage, just 64% as a team, but Zagaric can knock this down, increase that percentage, which he does. Now we have just a 1-possession game, a big defensive possession coming up this time for Partizan. A bucket will go a long way for helping Joventut feel good. That rim looks like it's gotten a lot smaller here in the last 4 minutes or so. They go to the reliable big man, Ante Tomic down low. He's converged upon though, and the ball's taken away from him. We got a blocking call against Pau Ribas, and he can't believe it. He can't believe it. Team defense from Partizan closed on Ante Tomic there as Rodions Karutz took it away, and as he tried to dribble up court, Pau Ribas got right up under him. The refs called that a foul against Ribas. Ribas does not like the whistle, could not disagree more. But around here, the refs have the final word, and that means that Karutz is heading to the line for 2 shots. Karutz knocks down the first. Misses the second, though. It's a 2-point game. The refs want to look at Smailagic. Thinks that was last touched by Partizan, trying to get just about every extra possession and every call they can. I think this one is going to stay the way of Joventut, and they've got to get something going on offense. They try to use their ever-reliable big man, Ante Tomic, to initiate the offense last time. He had that taken away. Even the inbounds is proving difficult to Joventut. They've really got to settle down here, and I think Charles Duran's got to think about calling a timeout if he can't get something going on this offensive possession. He's going to let his team play, though. He knows what he's got and is going to trust his ball handlers. This time it's Vives. Vives checked by Karutz, who's brought a lot of energy trying to pick up for Dankovic since he fouled out. Madar leaves Ribas alone. That three is off the mark. Good offensive rebound by Tomic. Goes back up. They're going to get the whistle on the foul, though, as Ante Tomic draws the foul against Karutz after grabbing a great offensive rebound there. Smailagic a little bit disappointed when he got bumped out of the way that time, but look at that effort by Ante Tomic to get in there, not be denied the offensive rebound, and earn a trip to the charity stripe. Ante Tomic now trying to break his team's duck here in the fourth quarter. Joventut being outscored in the fourth quarter by a score of 8-0. Let's see if Tomic can get them on the board here. Much rejoicing from the crowd as Tomic misses the first. Calmly knocks down the second. As we get a look at the Joventut supporters who made the trip here tonight and have seen their team play very well, it must be said, to this point, despite hitting a bit of a dry spell on offense here in the early going of the fourth quarter. They have puzzled this Partizan offense with great defense throughout, and the tempo of this one has certainly favored the visitors. Partizan now. Smailagic, who's given up that shot a couple times earlier in the game, opts for the long three that time. Derek Willis grabs the rebound. Willis uses Tomic. Tomic feigns the long pass inside, just pestered by Smailagic. And they're going to get a foul against Alan Smailagic there, guarding Ante Tomic tightly, 30 feet from the basket. Coach Obradovic there maybe sharing some of those sentiments. That Tomic is probably not going to beat him from that far away. To live to fight another possession. So it's Vives and Feliz in the backcourt for Joventut as Ante Tomic is at the line. He misses the first. Big shot this for Tomic. And again, calmly knocks down the second to make it a two-possession game. Still plenty of time, though. 5 minutes in a fourth quarter that has definitely been slowed down as the teams picked up the intensity defensively and have cut down the number of easy buckets really available to either side. Let's see what Partizan can conjure up this time. Madar, nice drive. Doesn't get that to go. Fans maybe thought Tomic took it off the rim, though. That's a third missed layup for Partizan in close. Vives now happy to slow it down. Each time looking to get it really into single digits on the shot clock. They do just that with 5 to go. Whistle goes this time against, is it Madar or is it Zagoric? As Derek Willis Joel Parra heads to the line. Joel Parra continues to build on his nice night. Parra will head back to the line when we come back from this timeout. Parra's got 11. Willis has 11. Ante Tomic has 12. But someone's got to get it going for Joventut here in the fourth quarter, as their offense has really dried up. Just 2 points in the first 5+ minutes of the frame. And they're going to need to call upon something to stay ahead in this, as we get a look at our magic moment of the game. This drive from Alen Smilagic, faking the three and taking it hard to the rack. Look how he holds it out, reaches behind his head and throws it down in traffic, dismissing any attempt to turn him away. Alen Smilagic with a big dunk. That responsible for bringing this noisy Partizan Nice Belgrade crowd to life, as Alen Smilagic flexing on him in tonight's 7 days magic moment. So will there be more magic moments like that for Alen Smilagic and Partizan as they try to cut into this sustained Joventut Badalona lead? Or can Badalona find some magic of their own to maintain the margin that they did such a good job of building throughout, but have seen whittled down here in the fourth quarter? Joel Parra at the line for two. Hits the first. And the second. Joventut shooting over 75% from the free throw line so far in this one. An important stat to keep an eye on here in a tight game. Madar now trying to turn the corner himself. Looks for Smilagic down low. He's defended well by Willis, so it's going to be Punter with 8 on the shot clock. Punter happy to step back for 3. It's a difficult shot, though, right off the front of the rim. And Feliz, great heads-up play to grab that while he was on his back. Lede gets in there, and the jump ball whistle is blown. So Kevin Punter there, difficult shot. We've seen him hit a number of difficult shots throughout it. Punter quietly has 12 points to lead this Partizan Nice Belgrade side. I say quietly because he is the leading scorer on this side, but he hasn't really got it going for a sustained stretch, just kind of popping up throughout and knocking down some big shots. Keep letting a player like Kevin Punter hang around in a close game, and he could knock down some big ones that spell the difference. It's going to be Lede to jump it off with Andres Feliz. Tipped back and grabbed by Yam Madar. Madar looks to Lede inside. Lede a little spin against Feliz. Now back to Madar. Thinks about the deep shot, instead gets down low and loses the handle. Last touch, however, by Joventut. Now someone's got to inbound it for Partizan. Zagoric steps up. 6 points separate these sides. 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Difficulty getting the ball in. It's Madar who eventually finds the ball in his hands at the top of the key. Cut. He's got Smilagic if he wanted him, but he didn't see him. Zagoric, difficult 3. That's off the mark. Guillem Vives slows it down. Joventut lead by 6 points. It's a lead they're happy to try and maintain. The referees wisely spot that the shot clock, excuse me, the game clock rather, did not start after that inbounds, however, from Partizan. So they're going to have to head to the bench, take a look at the clock here. and work out how much time we lost. And as suspected, the refs are going to need to head to the monitor here. It was 3:45 when Partizan inbounded the ball. They ran that possession, which ended in a difficult Rade Zagoresh 3, which missed. Guillem Vives grabbed the rebound and went the other way with it. So I suspect we'll see about 20 seconds or so come off the clock here. Lull in the action probably slightly favors the away side, just taking the crowd out of it. You see this oft noisy crowd now leaning against the railing, resuming their seats, so takes a minute out. Allows both sides to grab a drink of water, take a moment, prepare for this stretch run. Fouls playing a big role here in the fourth quarter. Both teams have been in the penalty really since there were about 7 minutes to go. Neither team have gotten into any kind of offensive rhythm here in the fourth quarter. Partizan outscoring Joventut Badalona in this quarter by 8-4. As both sides really try to junk up the game and slow it down. Although Partizan have clawed their way back into it, they were down 10 at the quarter break. This pace certainly favors Joventut Badalona, who have used defense on their way to building a 2-0 record here in Group A. I think the officials have the answer that they needed. They're going to go to the scores table and ask for a certain amount of minutes to run off the clock. Seconds, rather, not minutes. Go, see the runoff here. About 16 seconds have come off the clock there. And with that, we should be just about ready to get underway. Okay. One final question about how much goes on the shot clock. For Joventut. It was down to 13 seconds a moment ago as the runoff. Just 9 seconds. And 1 additional second on the game clock. All right. I think with that, we should nearly be ready to get underway. It should be Joventut to inbound in a half-court setting. And as expected, Andres Feliz heads over to the sideline to inbound the ball. After a small pause in the action, Joventut now pick it up. This important possession. Para, who's played very well tonight, handling the action, the ball on the outside. Now Vives, difficult pass inside, almost tipped away by Partizan. They do come up with the steal. Avramovic now back into the game after some time on the bench himself. He started this game. Looks like he has every intention of finishing it. Kevin Punter now, Smailagic. Now look at that look inside. One-on-one with Zach Leday, who's able to just catch, turn and face, and finish. Nice play there from Zach Leday. Good look, good pass inside by Punter. And that's as easy an offensive possession as Joventut have allowed in 5 minutes. Now Feliz to answer. That three is off the mark. Leday grabs the rebound, putting in work on both ends, grabbing rebounds, getting buckets. Under 2.5 minutes to go. Joventut lead by 4. Partizan with the basketball. Smailagic thinks about the three. That's huge. That's a big-time shot. It's just a 1-point Joventut lead. Smailagic, who earlier took home the magic moment of the night, brings some more magic to the table there with that three. He's pump faked that shot. He's given it up a couple times early. And that time just hits it right in the eye of his defender. Partizan trail by 1. Badalona cling to the narrowest of leads, 63-62. 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go. And this crowd is getting what they came for. We've got a tight game down the stretch as Partizan have staked back the 10-point deficit, now trailing by just 1. They outscore Joventut thus far in the fourth quarter, 13-4. Playing some aggressive defense, some high-energy defense, and now finally hitting a couple big shots. That one from Zach Leday down low, and then Alan Smailagic stepping out, hitting the big three. Worth remembering, Smailagic there, just 21 years of age, very talented young player here for this Partizan side, showing that any assumptions about him and how good he is, very much warranted. Joventut now to inbound. Headed into Willis. Willis over to Vives. Vives handling the ball, leading by 1. Pau Ribas now. Ribas, the drive. Can't get it to go off the glass. Last touch. The ref closest to it looked like he was trying to make eyes with his officiating teammate to get the call right. The two officials come together. I do think in my first glance that it was last touched by Joventut. Here, was it the hand of Tomic there, just sneaking inside Smailagic's hand? Smailagich is confident of it. Obviously, he would say it's their ball. The refs get together and agree that indeed it is Partizan basketball. 2 minutes on the clock or thereabouts, and a chance to take the first lead, their first lead since the second quarter. It's Leday. He's been such a potent source of offense throughout the night, backing down Willis. Does he go alone or kick it out? Difficult shot, that. And the refs get a foul on Karutz, I believe. Push on the rebound attempt. So we'll walk the other way. Joventut will be shooting with the clock stopped and a chance to rebuild their lead. That's 5 on Karutz as he heads to the bench. So who does Coach Obradovic turn to now? Looks like Dallas Moore coming into the game. Moore shown that he could also score in flashes. He's got 8 on the night, 2 of 3 from deep. Partizan showing here, despite having 2 key players foul out, able to roll out more talent off their bench in this tight game. scoring table becoming a popular place here late in this one. We're happy to see, though, refs looking to make sure they get it right. Making sure they know who the foul was against and who the foul was on. So it'll be Joel Parra at the line, shooting 2. Parra increases his total. He's got 14 after that make. And he's shot 7 of 8, I believe, from the free throw line. So Joventut again, lead by 3. What can Partizan do? It's Dallas Moore, who we know is a threat from deep. And Smailagic. Smailagic tries to drive baseline. I think he stepped on the end line, though. And that's exactly what the refs call. So that's a turnover. And a painful one late in this one as Smailagic tried to drive baseline against his defender and just stepped out of bounds. The ref had a perfect view of it, though. It was Johnny on the spot once that sneaker stepped on the line. Guillem Vives now pushing it ahead, playing with a lead as they have throughout the second quarter. Vives, Pau Ribas left all alone. Couldn't get that to go, though. Kevin Punter now pushing the agenda. Lede thinks about it, wants to get it back to Punter, though, and rightfully so. He's their best offensive player. Punter, good take. Using the crossover against Parra, able to create space by stopping on a dime and pulling up with that mid-range jumper. And you have to wonder, where's that been at periods here in the fourth quarter? Tomic now, difficult driving layup, blocking foul, and Zach Lede cannot believe it. Zach Lede thought he was in good position to draw the offensive foul against Ante Tomic, and if he had, this place would have erupted. I think that's a tough call against Zach Lede. Really could have gone either way as he sort of slid into position as a player got up in the air. He was able to get outside that semicircular restricted area, but I don't know if he established himself. And the officials are going to take a look at this. Now, in the course of the game action, I did feel like this could have gone either way because they called it as a block on the floor. I think they'll be hard-pressed to overturn it, but if this goes the other direction, this crowd's going to lose it. Oh, wow. Offensive foul, Ante Tomic. Zach Lede was beside himself when he thought that was called against him, and it looks like rightly so. The refs agreed he did get his feet outside that restricted area, just in enough time to establish himself and his defensive position. So here we go, 39 seconds on the clock. Partizan Nice Belgrade will have the ball with a chance to take the lead. They've been in this position a couple times and just haven't quite had the shots fall for them at the hoop. But here with 39 seconds, can they reverse those fortunes and overturn what was once an 11-point Joventut lead? Joventut coming into this hostile environment, this loud environment at Partizan Nice Belgrade. The Alexander Nikolic Hall, where this crowd has been excited about this matchup, a historic matchup of sorts, and a bit of bragging rights from last season on the line. These two teams faced off against one another in the group last year, splitting the difference, 1 game apiece. Both home sides won a year ago. Joventut now clinging on to a 1-point lead, a chance to reverse those fortunes and be the first away team in this matchup in some time to come into the other's building, certainly in the last 2 years. In their EuroCup history, to come into the other's building and come away with a lead, but they're going to have to weather the storm a little bit longer. It'll be Dallas Moore to inbound to Alexa Avramovic. Zach Leday out on the court, as is Kevin Punter and Alan Smilagic for Partizan. It's Punter using the screen. He's got the switch on Tomic, pulls up over Tomic and knocks it down. Big time shot, Kevin Punter, and that's going to be a quick timeout by Joventut. Punter wants to hear it from this crowd, and he's earned it. We said he could pop up with big shots, and what has he done on back-to-back trips down the floor? He's hit huge pull-up jumpers. This one over Ante Tomic to take the lead for the first time tonight. Now they have to settle themselves to play defense against Joventut, who are about to come back at him with plenty of time left on the clock. Both teams are definitely going to touch the basketball again in this one. I can almost promise you that. So don't think that will be the last opportunity for drama, as Joventut now turn to coach Charles Duran to draw up their battle plans. Just as a reminder, that's the first lead for Partizan since about halfway through the second quarter. They've hung around. They stayed patient in the fourth quarter, started making their free throws, stopped turning it over as much, and just like that, they're back in this game, the 1-point lead. So what do we got for Joventut? It'll be Pau Ribas to inbound. He's joined on the floor by Ante Tomic. So plenty of experience in those two. They will know not to panic in this situation. Ribas runs the baseline, gets it to Guillem Vives. They line up along the baseline to create space. Tomic runs a little action with Ribas. Ribas pull up from the elbow. That's good. Wonderful offensive play design that time for Joventut. They spread out the team, used a little off-ball action to free Ribas for a curl. A shot that he probably makes 99 times out of 100 in practice. He makes that shot in his sleep. And in a big moment like that, did not hesitate to knock it down from the elbow. Wonderful play design from Coach Charles Duran in a moment when they needed a big shot. Now, we go the other way. How will Coach Jelko Obradovic respond? The most decorated coach in European basketball history. 12 seconds on the clock. A chance to walk out of here winners on their home court. You have to imagine the ball's going to be at some point in the hands of Kevin Punter, knocking down two huge shots on the last two possessions and momentarily grabbing a lead. Punter's got 16, but he has gone quiet through spells. If they force the ball out of the hands of Punter, look for Zach Leday or even Dallas Moore to try and come up with a big shot. Alan Smilagic out on the floor, as is Alexa Abramovic. Avramovic will inbound. And as expected, it's into the hands of Punter. Punter waves off the screen from Smilagic. They're going to let Punter go alone. The pull-up jumper for the win is good! 4 seconds on the clock. What do? What a shot! Kevin Punter. Ice in his veins. Good defense, but better offense. Derek Willis is right there. Kevin Punter doesn't mind knocking down that deep two to take a late lead. Now 4 seconds on the shot clock. Can Joventut respond again? They won't have the luxury of time as they did on their last possession when they used a beautiful play design to free up Pau Ribas for that elbow jumper. This time there's going to have to be a lot more urgency in what they do. They were able to drop a couple nice plays in the first half that led to easy, quick buckets off the inbounds. So you know this team is well rehearsed in the dead ball moments on these inbound plays. Oh man, what a finish. These two teams living up to every bit the billing between them. And I tell you what, whoever wins today, you know the other team's going to be hanging around in this competition as these guys have just gone head to head at one another, particularly here down the stretch. What have they saved for the final act? Joventut now. It looks like it'll be Guillem Vives to inbound. Ante Tomic on the floor, as is Pau Ribas. Derek Willis also out there with Joel Parra. The lob to Tomic. Taken away. It was Punter gets in there. And are we going to get a foul? It's going to be a foul against Joventut, which should just about seal the victory. Obvious disappointment and frustration on the faces of the Joventut players, but celebration around the building and on the court for Partizan. We're getting another brief stoppage in play, as I think the refs are going to quickly take a look at this one. And in such a big moment, you can understand why. They tried to go to Ante Tomic with the lob. Looks like it was there for a moment as Tomic created some space around the back. But Kevin Punter, despite giving almost 30 centimeters up to Ante Tomic, having just played Batman on the offensive end, also steps up and makes a big defensive play to try to tip it free. What happened after that was a little difficult to see, so that's what the officials are going to be looking at here. But it'll be a loose ball foul, which was initially called against Joventut, obviously in the favor of Partizan. They've set celebrations off, but with a second left on the shot clock, both teams in the penalty. If there was a foul, there will be shots coming. Replay operator tonight, seen a lot of action here in the fourth quarter in a tight game, understandable, as the refs come together to determine this final call. Initially called on the floor against Joventut. They've already reversed one though, having gone to the replay. A big call, offensive foul against Ante Tomic, which gave Partizan the opportunity to take their first lead with about a minute remaining in the fourth quarter. They've since traded leads on the last three possessions. And most recently it was Kevin Punter with really his third straight big time shot. Everyone in the building knew they would be wanting to put the ball in Punter's hands. But that's what big time players do. Even when all eyes are on them, they rise to the moment. They knock down the shot. Punter currently has 18 points on 6 of 8 shooting from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Here's the big call coming up. Foul on. So there was Punter right in there trying to tip it out. And are they going to say Punter held Tomic? Nope, we got that on the foul, on the floor. No foul called, actually, out of bounds. Last touch by Joventut. So with just 2 seconds left, Partizan need to inbound it. So pardon me, just to clear that up, there was no foul called on the previous play, but it was out of bounds, last touched Joventut. So Partizan to inbound and try and seal this victory. They get fouled immediately. Does Avramovic by Joel Parra. So we walk the length of the court again. Avramovic is going to have a chance to shoot 2 free throws. He won't quite be able to put this one out of reach. If he knocked down them both, though, it's going to require a sort of brilliantly worked full court play or a desperation heave to try and force overtime. Avramovic in front of the home crowd. Avramovic misses the first, which does leave the door open, it must be said, for Joventut Badalona. Avramovic front rims the second. That's going to make it difficult for Badalona, though. Crazy throw is off the mark. Let the celebrations begin here in Belgrade. A gutsy victory from this Partizan Nice Belgrade side. They came back from 11 points down with some clutch buckets late by Kevin Punter to win this one by a final score of 68-67. Punter finishes with 18, but none bigger than the final 6 he dropped to find a way to victory for this Partizan side. Joventut equipped themselves extremely well, though, in the losing effort. Para leads their scores with 15 points. They played great defense throughout to really make things uncomfortable for Partizan. And this is a team that you know is not going anywhere. But tonight, it's Partizan's night in front of their home fans, celebrating a deserved victory, a dogged victory, really, in a game that they struggled to find their rhythms in various points, but they used aggressive defense to stay in it, both late in the second quarter when they were falling behind, and then clutch defense late in the fourth quarter to drag their way back to victory. They allowed only 8 points to Joventut in the fourth quarter, outscoring them 19-8 in the final frame. And that made the difference. Despite trailing by 10 at the start of the quarter, they pulled back the deficit, and Kevin Punter put on the exclamation point to seal the victory. Punter naturally basking in this moment in front of these fans. These fans are big basketball fans and big fans of this Partizan side. They have lofty expectations this year. As chants ring down for this team. And at 26 years old, Rade Zagoric, one of the more experienced players on this side, they rally around him in the center. He beckons to the crowd to ask for a little bit more love, and they're going to enjoy this moment. Punter gets chance of MVP. Zagoric pushes him out to get the applause that he earned after that ice-cold performance down the stretch. Punter was not alone, though. Smailagic hit a huge three late to close up the deficit. Smailagic finished with 7 points. As we get a chance to hear from the winning coach.
Congratulations. What a game. Great comeback. I have short question. How?
Yeah, again, it's a tough, difficult game. They play really very good. One more time. We are a young team. We need games like this to improve. Finally decide the best player of our team. Punter is like leader, and he will continue to be our leader. Congratulations to players and also to our people. Amazing atmosphere that they make today.
Thank you, coach.
There you have it. One of the most decorated coaches in European basketball. Congrats to the players, congrats to the people. It was a hard-fought and deserved victory. And good on this young team for enjoying the moment here. They have a long way to go to achieve what they hope to this season. But it's moments like this that allow young teams to grow together. Understand what that feeling of winning looks like and what it takes, particularly against a great opponent as Joventut Badalona most certainly is. And how good is it to just hear and appreciate moments like this? Having been starved of fan participation and engagement for as long as we had been previously, to see this sort of energy back in the building, celebrating a team victory in such a way is a lot of fun for fans, for players, for everyone around basketball.
So far, and you made it. How do you feel?
This is a great win. We're a young team, and this win is big for us to keep on getting better, game by game, and keep learning and doing what we got to do to keep getting better and listen to coach's business.
Good job, Zach! Team, at the end, team effort.
Yes, team effort. As always, stay together, and it was a great way to fight back, and we showed resilience.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Great to hear from Zach Lede there. Not sure how much he appreciated all the slaps on the back he got as he went by, but he earned the praise after the performance he delivered. This great three-point play early in the proceedings, getting into the paint. Lede finished with 13 points on the night to go along with 6 rebounds. He played physical inside and out and played 36 minutes tonight. So a heck of an effort from Zach Lede on his way to victory tonight.
Coach, tough game, hectic finish, crazy finish. How did you see this game?
Bad last quarter for us, but the work is very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So understandable frustration there for Coach Duran. Obviously summing it up there with the bad last quarter comment. But tonight, they equipped themselves well, coming out early, generating offense. It was Derek Willis in the early going. He paced all scorers through the first quarter. Again, Willis, a second dunk in the early going, and Partizan couldn't find their way going on offense. This little drive from Karutz was one of few offensive highlights for Partizan there in the first quarter. Karutz again taking a steal, turning defense into offense there. Zach Lede, as we saw, earning our player of the night honors, getting it going outside, but Pau Ribas responding with a big three of his own. Joventut were able to build a lead throughout the second quarter, a lead that they took into halftime off the back of plays like this from Derek Willis, throwing down the contested alley-oop. But Smailagic not wanting to be outdone with a big-time dunk of his own, taking in traffic and finishing with a thunderous right hand, and then Kevin Punter late just took over. Big shot after big shot. That one, the first time they took the lead, yet another one to ice it. And when it was all said and done, Partizan, Nice Belgrade walk out of here the winners, 68-67. Joventut Badalona head home after this tough defeat, but knowing that they can hang with some of the best talent in the group. These two teams will face each other once again. With that, Partizan take the lead in Group A, undefeated after 3 games. Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar will try to do the same as they play tomorrow night against Bologna. So thank you very much for tuning in to a wild one here in Belgrade.
7 days EuroCup in association with